Welcome back to California Life Podcast. Today we are delighted to have Miss Adela Guerra with us. As I called you, Miss Adela, the goddess of war in Hollywood. Thank you for coming. How are you today?
Hi, I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure. Before we open up um, some information about your most recent amazing and exciting project, um, when we met and we talked about your journey from Miami, from that world of entertainment into film and social media, I found it really cool, really unusual. And I would love if you could share with us, with our audience, a little bit about it, how you felt more than a celebrity when you were invited to LA, you flew in, and you had all that amazing experience because you worked your butt off on your own content.
Yes, yeah.
How did it all start?
Well, it started basically with um I know it was more like a dream or things that wondering what can happen if I just decide to go for it and forget about all my fears. So, I was born in Venezuela and I had grown up with I had a really nice family growing up and we were giving everything honestly. But the situation in my country was a little too crazy since I was very young. So I would say it definitely came from watching a lot of TV, a lot of movies, and a lot of that could be life too. So I would say that that kind of expanded my mind also. And I said one day after finishing, I went to business school back in my country, and then I said, there gotta be more in out of life. I gotta find something else that I was not really excited to just pursue my career back in my country. So I don't know. Out of nowhere, one day I said, "What if I just go to America and figure out if I can make a living out of there doing something that I love?" So what I my plan was I came to the United States as I started working. Actually, I went to acting school, and then in acting school, I started getting a lot of because you start working with artists, and they're all like kind of figuring it out. And back in Miami, I found out that I could if I could have get a job as a TV host or as an actor or as a model, I could definitely stay in the country and get signed with a talent agency, which was my plan. And eventually, that's how I could stay here in America. I got the artist visa after it wasn't easy. After 2 years, I got signed with the talent agency, and I started working. My first job was, hosting TV shows and interviewing celebrities, and and then I started doing a lot of modeling and commercial work, and eventually I did my movie, my first movie back then. But when I was doing this, I was kind of figuring out social media. I'm talking about over, 10 years ago, when I don't know, it was like a Facebook fan page that I was
Right.
doing. So, so I decided to share my behind the scenes um, going online on social media because I felt like it was more authentic. And I've always been kind of like a little rebel where I was like, I don't want to be doing what the director is telling me. I just want to be doing my own thing, and I will share my own thing, even though sometimes I shouldn't be doing that. Working on, sets. But that's how eventually I grew an audience after Facebook. It was Instagram, and then it was TikTok, and then I will share more a little bit more about that, how I grew those. But that's how it started. It started just like me figuring out and honestly just following my excitement. I was just going for the things that I was excited about. I was like, I'm excited about doing this. I'm excited about photography. I'm doing film and talking a lot of crazy stuff in front of the camera that I can. And that's what people like. A lot of people that they can find you relatable. And I'm just like any other person that decided to go for it.
What was your first film? How did you get in? And what was your experience since you don't really like to follow director's lead?
Yeah, well, I did because I had to, I did had to follow directions, but I remember I remember it was I went for the casting. And my life back then, it was just pretty much the whole time you're going to castings because that's what you're doing. And that's why I decided I wanted to do my own thing online because I was like, oh, I mean, I enjoy it, of course. I love being part of projects, working with teams, and I'm very passionate about doing that. But I found this ad where they were looking for it wasn't even through an agent or anything. It was more of me finding out things online, and then I was like, okay, this looks legit. And I went for the casting. And I don't know, one of those things like I don't know what just happened in this casting, but I felt like I killed it. Like I don't know who that woman was. And that's when I got the part. They told me, I think after a few weeks, and me being on set on film, that was my first experience of being, well, pretty much the whole day, over 12 hours on a set, and not living until you get the take. So that was very exciting for me to just be able to, yeah, daring to dream and just not being afraid to show up and go for the things that you love.
Um, what did you take from your filming experience into your social media creative business? I would say because it's not just you're creating just out of creation; you're making good
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that the discipline of showing up on a consistent basis, because just like I was there on film, and of course, nobody's leaving here until we're done, until we get the take, until we get. And I remember I was in so much pain after some scenes. I could be in bed like for 2 days with bruises, and my feet. It's just like it was crazy because it was kind of a violent type of film. We have some scenes that, and I will be just like, I'm going fine, I'm doing fine, but I'm really inside. I was just like, get me out of here. But I do feel that if I would put what I thought is, if I would put the same work ethic into what I'm building with other teams into my own thing, I can definitely go so much further in life. And I think that was one of my biggest things that I learned throughout the whole uh, film work, because I had to be very focused, I had to be sharp, and I have to be able to take directions very well. And I do believe that incorporating all of these things into my current work, it's really step up my game. Absolutely.
Well, that's quite exciting. You know what I found when working with you is it was way more effective, efficient than working with just actors. And
Mhm.
I take it because you've become business yourself,
Yeah.
and you value the work. You value way more things than just a paycheck, as the actors do, which sometimes they don't show up. You know.
Oh no. Yes.
Yeah. So, and I see this tendency of studios, bigger studios, smaller studios, working more with influencers
Mhm.
because of the influence that they have. The kids don't know about Brad Pitt that much, right?
Right, no, right.
And the
See,
second thing, yeah, and the second thing is because it's way more easy to work with you and with your colleagues. You
mhm,
have sense of business. You
right.
know what is happening. You're not in the delusional dreams of just, oh, I'm an artist, I'm an actress, I just act. You're
Yes.
sharp. It's a business language, and I enjoy it, and I see more and more companies are tending towards that.
I'm happy
um,
to hear that. Thank you.
you also developed your brand really well,
Mhm.
um, and I know that you are now also sharing your precious knowledge with the community you've created and launched your course.
Right.
Let's talk about it. What is it about? What can we learn? And where are you leading us to?
Yes. Well, this came from, of course, after all the things that I had to go through until getting to where I am today. I'm talking about over 10 years that I have built so much online, so much interactions, and I have gained so much experience and so much knowledge that I wish there was someone out there 10 years ago that I had let me into the step by step to get to where I am today so I could get there faster. So it has come from the inspiration of sharing the knowledge, sharing the wisdom, and sharing the experience for other creators or people that they know that they have a skill but they don't know where to start. It will be guiding them through that process and making them life easier and not having them to learn the hard way the way that I did. It's more like inspirational type of program that we have developed in order to inspire other creators to um, take control of their own skills and empower them to build their own audience and be able to monetize that in a matter of a few years, and if you work very hard, less than a year. Absolutely, absolutely. So it came from that inspiration of me being able to empower others to go for what they desire. It really doesn't matter where you're at in life. Everybody has a skill, everybody has something that they are very passionate about that the world has to see. And it's to empower you, to help you shine through the online world in order for you to become financially independent.
That's that's a very that's a very good point.
Mhm.
Um, you probably remember of the most recent Hollywood strikes with the writers, with the actors, and folks like that. I haven't seen Martin Scorsese or Aaron
Mhm.
Sorkin striking, but I
Oh,
saw these guys, and in one of the interviews that one of them
yeah,
gave to a TV station, they mentioned that, "Oh, I've been in this business for 10 years and I can't pay my rent." It caught my attention because if you were in this business, you would have able to not just pay the rent, but buy a house.
correct.
Um, and what you do is actually you lead people into becoming a business instead of being an employee.
Yes, yeah.
Psychologically, how difficult or easy is that transformation?
I would say it's very tough, but that's why I feel that you really gotta have a lot of determination when it comes to getting the skills to go through that. And it's just a matter of, uh, I would say, personality. It has a big part of it because no everybody comes to the world to be an entrepreneur, be an adventurous person, but also a matter of mindset. You always are gonna be creating what you think you believe you can create. And once you start working on that mindset, it's like, oh no, I can have these things. I don't have to be working for, and I personally have never worked for anybody in my entire life. So I don't know if something that it had to do with me being wired like that, or it's just like me understanding and not being a hypocrite saying, hey, this is what I know that I can do, or I just don't like being told what to do because I know that there's so much out there that I can be creating out for myself. And it's a matter of also being very brave and just not being afraid to break the rules of following what other people are always telling you to do, especially in the environment that you have been growing up when we have a lot of things that are implemented into our system, and then we decide, oh, should I, is that really good for you actually, me working for somebody or coming to LA and becoming an actor? Because a lot of people do that but they don't even understand why they're doing it, and it's more like looking for them type of looking for validation until they realize, oh no, this is not really for me. This is what really makes me happy. I don't know, like painting in my backyard. How can you make money doing that? If you have limited beliefs that are telling you you would never be able to make money out of doing that, I think that that would be, for me, a huge point when it comes to it's not really easy because you really got to disconnect from a lot of and understand and do a lot of inner search of what really makes you happy. But it's not impossible. So I really encourage people to do that search and go for the things that they are really love doing instead of following the crowds of. And that's the beautiful thing about the online work, where there is actually there's an audience for everybody, and we don't have to be so limited into, oh no, I can only do this because I live here and I can only be doing work as a background actor or something like that.
Well, some people do. Some people are stuck in that little cycle, or
Right.
they just get in, comfortable zone being a background actor or actress.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
whenever I hold my master classes, my seminars, I always suggest to look at the best
Hmm.
Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone.
Yes.
These folks who develop multiple streams of businesses by becoming a business. And
Yeah.
I think there was one of a rappers. I wouldn't remember his name, not in a rap
Mhm.
style myself, but he said, "I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man." He put a little. So, and I think that right now, the trend will be more and more going towards this direction, and building your brand and becoming something. What are we expecting from you, from your course, in the future?
Yes, absolutely. It For us, the most important thing into developing this course has been empowering those creators that are willing to build something for themselves and become financially independent and having a lot of fun by doing so, and not being afraid of what might think of me, but more into developing those skills and sharing the insights that are going to help you build an online brand for yourself, that it cannot it's this is not about a one time thing that you're going to get paid. This is something that you're going to build for yourself and have for you forever, something that it's going to help you make a life and make an income by doing what you love, and really just being happy and grateful for having the opportunity. I'm really really excited to keep sharing with the students all the knowledge that I have gained and empower them to become who they really are by making money and doing what they love. So it's about to be very, very fun.
It is fun, and like whenever we meet online or in life, you're always smiling, always happy. That's always inspiring. And another probably last question for today.
Yeah,
In what I believe in, brand begins with your physique, how you look, your health.
yeah.
You look fantastic. You're always in great shape, and I just checked your story. You're eating sweet. Um, what was that? A Macron or?
Well said. We gotta enjoy life. We gotta enjoy life. Seriously, I love pizza and I love sweets. I gotta do once a week at least. So, what's your question, Victor?
How do you keep your shape in such a great shape?
How do I keep my shape? Okay, so I know this is gonna sound crazy. It's like understanding that if you work really hard, you know, I do go on hikings, I do a lot of yoga, and but I don't kill myself doing it. I release a lot of pressure on about the way that I look, And I think that I do a lot of meditation and a lot of self-love practices, massage, therapy, going to the spa. All these things make me feel that I'm actually pampering myself and my body, and giving them so much self-love. But I also enjoy, the amazing things that life has to offer. I love having a good food, having a good, because if you're working so hard, you got to understand that you got to kind of compensate a little bit of, oh, I can have my pizza, or I can have I was like here the after Halloween night, I was like having this whole pizza. I was like, I deserve this because I am starving right now. And I feel like I have worked so hard the last few months that I deserve to have half the pizza and not feel guilty about it. And then I would say just like a matter of balance of just understanding that, okay, if you want to keep in shape, don't eat a pizza every single day. Don't do it. So I would do a lot of oatmeal and all that boring stuff most of the time. But that's how I compensate. I do have a lot of fun doing what I do for a living. So I focus on the things, and then I'm like, I gotta get my pizza now, but I gotta go to the gym tomorrow. Well, I don't go to the gym, but I do go for the hiking.
Right, right. Well, I do see you doing a lot of hikes and workouts, and I think right now when you describe pizza and you made me feel hungry. I think that was the best pizza commercial.
Oh my god.
I'm glad that we're recording. I'm glad we're recording, and I'm sure that the pizzerias or restaurants, they will be able to get some ideas from you.
Hungry.
Adela, Adela, thank you so much for coming today and sharing with us. We'll keep an eye on what's going on with your projects, your course,
Yes.
and you're very welcome to come again and be our guest.
I would love that. Thank you so much, Victor, for having me. I had so much fun.